On the channel, it's All Out Weekend. You know what that means. AEW Jazwares action figure reveals.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another AEW Reveals video, as this is currently Labor Day weekend for those of you guys that celebrate in the United States, I guess. But for everybody across the world, it's definitely All Out Weekend, and All Out, of course, in Chicago. Not sure why I didn't go. I should have went to there. I could have went to Dynamite on Wednesday. I could have seen the Scorpions on a Thursday. Scorpions, one of the few bands I've never seen in concert that I've always wanted to. Of course, could have went to Rampage on Friday night. Sure, there was something to do on Saturday, and then, of course, the pay-per-view Sunday. So I guess I missed out on all that. I missed out on all the excitement, but I really should have went over there. Maybe I will next time. Maybe I will next time. We'll see what happens. But it is Labor Day weekend. It is All Out weekend, and Jazwares' team was there in Chicago to give us all kinds of reveals for future action figures in the AEW Unmatched, Unrivaled, Supreme, and everything else under the sun. Of course, exclusives also going to be a part of this as well. So let's break it down. Let's go through these. I got my handy-dandy iPad here today. And of course, I went to Ringside Collectibles, social media accounts. Follow them on Instagram, Twitter, all of them under the sun. And of course, when you order from Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% as usual. But I did go to Ringside's account as they're there covering all the action, all the excitement. And we're going to go through as we always do. And we're going to take a look at each figure that was shown, give some commentary, and see what we think about these. So without further ado, let's get after it. Let's break out the reveals. All right, let's get down to business. Let's talk these reveals, and let's go through them. And we're going to go through them in order of the Ringside Collectibles. Like I said, their social media, how they posted these. And of course, we'll start here with some of the live samples that were shown to the audience if you were in Chicago. And then we'll go into some of the digital renders and then some of the sets as well. So we're going to go through these and all kinds of fun. So we start off here with a little blood and guts from the Lights Out match. Thunder Rosa returns to the AEW lineup here, and I believe this will be a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. Really cool. I love the details on the blood here, especially. Obviously, you have the face with no blood, and then you got face with blood. You got blood all down the arms. Very Japan deathmatch style is what that reminds me of, with the blood on the arms and stuff. But a very, very good Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa could be the best toy seller out of all the female wrestlers in the female division. Face paint, folks. Face paint. We know it. People love the face paint. We then saw a sample of the Owen Hart in package and out of package, of course. The AEW Luminary version of Owen Hart. Of course, King of Hearts there. 2 heads, title belt, soft goods coat. Just worried about that coat. Is it going to stain this figure? Is this figure going to be terribly stained? Man, I hope not. This is one we do not need staining on. But we got Owen Hart coming. It's an interesting Owen Hart. He's got glasses, of course. And then the other head has that old kind of, I don't know, like a beaded braid kind of bandana he used to wear. It was all the rage in the 80s. Like a young Willie Nelson is what it reminds me of. But interesting packaging here. I can see some people saying, hey, it's going out of the Unrivaled, Unmatched type packaging, but something like Owen Hart's first figure in a million years, it seems like, really does deserve that special package treatment. So I'm okay with it. We'll see how it looks in hand, and we're going to talk a little bit more Owen Hart here in a second. But of course, we got Jon Moxley, no stranger to any AEW lineup except the Supreme line so far, but you know that's going to be coming. But we do got another Moxley, and this head scan looks pretty good for him. Resting face Moxley, not angry, not happy, just kind of middle of the road. Of course, soft goods shirt. Ooh, no staining, come on. We'll see how that goes. And then a lot of people have been wanting a do-over, of course, of FTR. We're getting first in-hand samples here, or a chance to look at in-hand samples very close with FTR here. To me, this FTR head sculpts here, they don't look terribly different than the last ones. Dax Harwood of Harwood, don't call him Hardwood, Harwood. The head sculpt looks basically the same to me. I don't really see the changes in this one, and that was one of the more disappointing action figures. I guess one of the more disappointing tag teams so far we've received from AEW. It just wasn't what I wanted out of them. So we'll see. Maybe these will look a little bit better in hand, but I'm not sold on these. But speaking of tag teams, we do move over to Private Party, some AEW Day Oneers. And of course, they were with Matt Hardy for a while, Andrade for a while. They've been all over the place. place. They've bounced around left and right. Dark, Elevation, Dynamite, and Rampage. They've seen it all. They've done it all. They haven't won the tag titles yet, though. But we are getting them in figure form for the first time, and I think that is pretty cool. That is always a special thing. Give me new blood. That's what keeps these lines going. We always say in retail, new items is what moves the business forward. You need new items, and guess what? Unfortunately, about 90% of new items fail, but you need them to move the business forward. AEW figures, Mattel figures, no different. Yes, you need the Roman Reigns. Yes, you need the Moxleys. But you need some private parties every once in a while to keep things fresh, keep some eyes on the prize, I guess. We'll stay with that. So private party is coming as well. And then we saw Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter's got a big pay-per-view match this weekend. She could be the new champ. We'll see what happens with that. But a very good-looking Jamie Hayter figure. They do have her tattoos, which I always like the tattoos on figures. You know I'm a sucker for tattoos. The back figure of her, it looks like they got her back corrected, so that looks really good. So shout out to old Jamie Hayter's backside. Big up to you. So there you go. Then we're getting Ruby Soho. That's another good one. And this looks actually really good. You know, the Mattel NXT Elite from back in the day, the old Target exclusive. That was a little bit of a rough figure, I always thought. It looked like her, but it wasn't perfect. This is a much, much better head sculpt on this one. Of course, she does have the orange hair in here. And we do get two heads with her. The other head, of course, the tongue out. We'll see what I think about that. I'm not the biggest tongue out figure fan, as we've talked about on the channel numerous times. But an interesting one, and both these head sculpts look pretty good. Of course, all the tattoo work, all that kind of fun stuff. Ruby Soho, that should be a good figure down the line very soon. Then we got Santana and Ortiz in their dead president's attire. You guys know me. I'm a sucker for face paint, and I'm calling it right now. Santana, Ortiz, they peg warm all over the place. You see my figure hunting videos, but this version of Santana and Ortiz with the face paint, man, they're going to be flying off shelves. You'll be able to find them, I'm sure, but they're going to fly off the shelves a lot better than the other incarnations. Why, you ask? Well, people, the masses, they want face paint, and that's what we're getting here in their dead president's attire. Of course, Rikers Island, we're going to have these to go with the Hager, the Sammy, the Jericho eventually. These look good. You guys know me, I'm a sucker for face paint, so I'm all in on those. Then another guy I'm a sucker for, my old personal friend, old Malachi Black. He'll always be Aleister Black to me. But Malachi going to have another figure out there. We know we're getting a lot of them. We're getting a Supreme figure I'm really excited about, but we're also getting him on the Unmatched line, and later we'll show some renders of a suited figure for Malachi Black as well. But we are getting that. Now we're back to the Owen Hart. I said we would be returning to Owen Hart here. I'm not recollecting what title belt this is supposed to be. Somebody can throw it in the comments. Is it one of those Japanese titles? Is it a Stampede title? I'm not sure. I keep looking at it, and it does not ring a bell. Maybe it's not supposed to. Maybe it's supposed to be just a generic Owen Hart Champion of the World title. I'm not really sure there. But it's an interesting head sculpt on this Owen Hart. I always say the test is if somebody gives you just the head, can you say who this is? I don't know. I feel like it's Owen Hart, but I'm seeing the body and I'm knowing it's Owen Hart, so I'm not sure if I could get it. It kind of looks like Jason Sensation. There's a deep cut from back in the day looking like Owen Hart. It also kind of looks like the kid from the Karate Kid. Kyle's never seen the Karate Kid, but one of the bad guys from the Karate Kid. I've seen pictures. I know what it's about. It's a karate tournament and something like that. Wax on, wax off. I know enough to be dangerous, but he looks like that guy, and he wore the bandana too, I think. So he kind of looks like that, so I'm not sure what to think of this Owen Hart. It'll be really interesting. But we do have Owen Hart here in the blue. You know who else he reminds me of here? Is a lot like Bobby Eaton. Of course, we all know Bobby Eaton. Give us a Bobby Eaton figure, especially the red tights version of Owen Hart. That is very Bobby Eaton-esque to me. So we can get some Bobby Eaton customs going, maybe. Who knows? But I assume one of these is going to be a chase, and I hope that isn't the case. For some reason, Owen Hart's first figure in a lifetime, it feels like, shouldn't really be a chase. It feels like you're really cashing in on that, or really frustrating collectors. I don't know exactly the words there, but it just doesn't feel right to me for some reason. Do another Owen Hart figure down the line, make that a chase. But the first one ever, I don't think should have a chase component. I don't know. I don't think you should do that to collectors. You guys sound off and let me know your thought. I mean, I think most people say, yeah, we don't want to chase at all of Owen Hart because it's hard to track down. And I get that as well. But something just doesn't smell right for me. It doesn't pass the test. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, but I don't want to see a chase of Owen Hart like that. So then we go from Owen Hart, we go to another guy. Unfortunately, we go to Mr. Brody Lee, who also passed away a while back. And of course, we had a chase of him as well. And I wasn't a big fan of that, and I'm still not a fan of that. But unfortunately, I guess again, we're getting a Mr. Brody Lee chase once again into different suits. We're getting two different kinds of suits with him, much like the Cody Rhodes out on market right now. I guess I can stomach this a little bit better because it's been farther off, but I really didn't like that first chase, like I said, similar to the Owen Hart idea. This, I guess, I could stomach, and we definitely needed this Mr. Brody Lee in a suit. His suits were iconic, and knowing him as Luke Harper, I never thought of him as a suit-wearing guy, so it's amazing how that changeover happened going over to AEW. But both look really good. It seems to be the exact same head sculpt we got before. I'd have to think that's the case. And of course, we're getting that patented microphone. You gotta have that microphone. And we are getting some papers, so we do get the papers once again. Still, unfortunately, no pinless joints. That's what I was hoping. I'm hoping all these releases, these all-out exclusive things like this, they were going to show us, hey, we're going to pinless joints. Unfortunately, we're not seeing that outside of the Supreme line at this time. We got more Aleister Black. We got to see all these heads. We knew these were coming. I like the looks of them. It's going to be tough. He's a guy that you might need a couple versions of the Supreme Aleister Black to display all those heads. But man, quite the figure, of course. Like I said, I'm a little biased. One of my favorites out there. I really do like him. We'll see what happens with him in AEW. I know he did ask for his release recently. We'll see what happens there. But I just feel he's a guy that could do so much more wherever he is and just kind of floats in the middle, it just seems like. So we'll see what happens, but a good-looking Supreme figure. I'm all in on that one. Then we got Kenny Omega, no stranger to any AEW line and never will be, I don't think. And we do have a Supreme Kenny Omega coming. We'll talk about that one here in a little bit as well, but I guess we'll talk about it right now. You got all the extra hands, the extra arms, you got a shirt, you got the extra heads, and then you do got the jeans. So it is a 2-in-1 figure like a lot of the Supremes. All the Supremes, we should say. So very interesting Kenny Omega, and we will talk more about that in a little bit here. Now we transition over to some more pictures from ringside that weren't at the event, but some stock images, some better images. Dare I say some glamour shots? That's what we got, and we got Owen Hart back again. We already talked about it a little bit, but Luminaries Collection, special packaging box. I feel like this shouldn't even be part of Luminaries Collection. This should just be a one-off thing. That's what it should be, but I'll take it whatever way I can get it for sure. And he does have the black tights going on there, the black tights with the stars, where we did see the red, the blue versions before, so a lot of different Owen Harts here. That Owen Hart with glasses, he looks just like his brother. I think Keith, is it Keith that he looks like? Looks a lot like Keith there. I do like the bandana across here. That head looks better in this picture than it does just resting there. But like all these things we're going to see here today, they might look terrible, they might look amazing. The true test is when they get to this table, that's the test if they look really good, as we got to find out when that hits. So we'll see what happens there. But a little bit more detail of that title belt and a little bit more detail of that jacket. Now this isn't the Owen Hart a lot of people want. I understand they want the pink and black attack. I think we all do. But I think they wanted to get as far away from the WWE version of Owen Hart they ever could. And that's what they did. They went to the Stampede, WCW, New Japan look of Owen Hart. So it is what it is, I guess. You know, it's Owen's family. They're going to choose what they want to do. So now we turn back to Thunder Rosa, going the blood and guts route. An interesting one. It's just her by herself. I guess they didn't want to put another Britt Baker in there. That makes sense, I guess. But I'm all in on this one. This is a ringside exclusive, of course. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. You can get all these figures, and you will be able to get all these figures, of course, on ringside. And like I said earlier, 10% you can save with discount code Kyle. Got to get a deal, but this looks good. I'm all in on a mint on card set of the blood and guts set, so I'll be getting 2 of these, one to open, one for mint on card. And then it shows a little bit more digital images of the action figure. But it does look really, really good. Now we get off to some of these grayscale digital renders here of what we got coming out here. And of course, the Bunny Unrivaled Series 13. I can't believe we're already up to Series 13, but the Bunny is coming in hot. You do got her patented bunny ear glasses things. I'm glad that she's getting a figure. She's been around a long time, a lot like Private Party. She deserves a figure. It's got to be a great day for her getting her own figure here, so I'm all in on that one. Then, very, very similar, we are getting the Butcher, whole Butch himself. Not a big fan of his music. A lot of people think I'd be a big fan of his music. Not really. I like his wrestling a heck of a lot more. He gives me that old school wrestling vibe, and I really do like that. That's something that's really missing in wrestling, especially AEW. AEW's got a lot of flippy flopping going around. We all know that, and there's a spot for that. But a guy like the Butcher, he's so old school, like a throwback. Man, we need more things like him in any toy line out there. But he does got sunglasses and extra hands. Hopefully maybe his little duster coat, something like that. Didn't he wear a monocle one time, or am I dreaming? Did he have a monocle like a young Mr. Peanut? I don't know, maybe not. But the Butcher is coming, and then you can't have the Butcher without the Blade, and the Blade gets 2 head sculpts here. Very cool with that second head sculpt with the handkerchief and the glasses and the hat on. I'm all in on that one. So you get the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny. Hey, sounds good to me. Unrivaled Series 13. And then Unrivaled Series 13, the debut of Danhausen. A lot of people have been screaming, where's Danhausen? Where's Danhausen? You got to remember, these things take about a year. Once they know, hey, we can do Danhausen, they got to get started and they got to get after it. Now, Danhausen got here pretty quick because I don't think it's been a year since his debut. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's been quite a year yet. So this has been rushed to market a little bit. But the thing you notice here on this figure, what do you notice? It's very easy to do. This isn't Danhausen without his shirt on with all of his different tattoos, all that extra paint apps, all that extra work. This is like Street Gear backstage interview, cursing somebody. Danhausen is what we got going on here. And that is just fine. If that gets us one faster and we know people want Danhausen, it makes all the sense in the world. And you know we're going to get multiple Danhausens down the line. There's no way around it. So this is a cool one. This is a different one. He's got the cursed hands, got extra heads here. It's going to be a hot seller because, once again, face paint sells, and Danhausen is very popular. I heard the other night he was selling his hotel soap off of Whatnot. People are buying his soap from his hotel. That tells you how popular Danhausen is. And if any of you guys need some soap, I have some. I'll cut you a deal. There you go. But Danhausen there. And then Sting returns to Unrivaled Series 13. Now, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Obviously, this is grayscale. I don't know a whole lot. It'll be interesting what design will be on the chest, hopefully, and I'm guessing something totally different. But I would really like to see this Duster jacket be soft goods. Let's see how it looks soft goods instead of the Polly Pocket jacket that Duster. We're over that. We were over it with the Mattel Elites. We're over it with AEW. Give us soft goods Sting jacket, and I hope that is the case here. But we'll see. We need a throwback Luminary Sting, though. When are we getting that one? That's what I really want. And then Series 13, man, it's the set of face paint, I guess. We got Darby Allin coming in there again. To me, this doesn't look a whole lot different than anything we've seen before. Once again, this is grayscale. You can't see the paint, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of reuse with this one. I think we're Darby overkill right now, but once again, he's hot. He's the modern-day Jeff Hardy. He's going to be in a lot of lines. It is what it is. So we got Darby Allin coming again in Series 13. And then, speaking of, we got Wardlow coming in Series 13. So we're getting a lot of Wardlows now. And he's on fire. He really is like Goldberg. People chanting his name, Wardlow. It's like a young Bill Goldberg all over again. I should tell my dad about this guy, because my dad loved him some Goldberg back in the day. He might like some Wardlow. But I don't know if my dad knows what AEW is. Dad, in the comments, do you know what AEW is? You can let me know. He definitely knows Universal Monsters. I'll tell you that much. But Wardlow back again. He's got some Fist with him. Happy to hear some Fist are back in the line. We need all the fists we can get in the AEW line. You guys know that. I've always been a champion of the fist. So here it is there. There's Wardlow. And then we go to Unmatched Series 8. And then once again, we're at 13 on Unrivaled. I can't believe Unmatched is at Series 8 already. We're getting Abaddon. And Abaddon I haven't seen a whole lot of in a while. I heard she went away, lost some weight, and things like that. So I got to think she's going to be coming back. We'll see what she turns into or how she looks when she comes back. But talk about toyetic. She's got quite the look to her. This should transition very well into action figures. This should help her toy sales. This should help her move off the pegs. Can't wait to see all the colors. Will they have like the blood coming on, the crazy eyes? Man, I can't wait for this one. This one could be right up my alley, as you guys know. Then Series 8 as well. We talked about my love for Aleister Black, Malachi Black. He's always Aleister to me. Brody King getting his debut figure. And Brody King's another guy like the Butcher we need more of in AEW. We need more bigger guys. We need to mix it up a little bit with some bigger dudes. Brody King definitely fits that bill. It's going to look awesome when you get him and Buddy Matthews and Aleister Black, all three together. Malachi Black, I know. Buddy Murphy, I know. Get all those guys together. It'll look really good. And then, like I said, Buddy Matthews coming to the line as well. Same kind of thing. It's really cool that they're going the route of putting them in the same set. I'm here for that all day long. Very, very cool. And we'll have Aleister Black out, Malachi Black out around the same time as well. Going to be really cool. And then Unmatched Series 8, you got the Luminary. Who's the Luminary? Well, it is CM Punk. They are going to run CM Punk into the ground. I guarantee it. That's the way Jazwares, the old Jax days, did. It's smart business at the end of the day, and we always got to remember it's a business, put our business hat on, but they're going to kill us with CM Punk figures. We're going to get so many different ones, and we're getting this one in the Luminary line, and I'm happy to report here this is a throwback Ring of Honor version, let's call it, of CM Punk. Long hair going on, Looks really good. Doesn't show any accessories or extra hands or anything like that. Hopefully that does get added. But he is coming back in the Luminaries line. And then on Unmatched Series 8, we get the Malachi Black once again in the line. This is what I was talking about, where he's going to be in a suit. Now, he's on TV a lot in a suit, so this makes all the sense in the world. Probably good for customizers, too. You want to pop that head off, put it on somebody else, move things around. But it is a suited Malachi Black, and it does make sense. And I think we need more backstage character figures in our lineups just like this. So I'm okay with that one as well. And then we're getting Penta Oscuro. Sure, I just called him Penta when I met him. But Penta, he's coming in hot again, and we got another cool mask going on. This is kind of his, I don't know what you call it. I guess it's his version of a suited figure, so that does look cool as well. It's interesting it's in Series 8 with the other suited figure, but hey, what do I know? What do I know? But we got him coming, and then you also got Hangman Adam Page in Unmatched Series 8. Adam Page, another guy getting a lot of his figures. We're getting that patented trigger finger with him. Gotta imagine we'll get a beer can. We'll get a Kool-Aid jug. We'll get something with him. We always do with the Hangman. But Hangman, another guy like Darby Allin, getting to be a little bit overkill if you ask me. We'll see what happens with that Hangman in Series 8. Now we move on to some colored renditions. So things are moving across, moving up a little bit. And we got Hook coming in on Unmatched Series 7. Hook Mania running wild, much like Danhausen. Danhausen I get because he's got face paint. Hook is cool. He's got a nice vibe to him and everything. It's just, unfortunately, somebody like me, and this is just my opinion. Everybody's got their own, of course. I just can't take him too seriously. He's so little. He's just a little guy, and I get it. There's little tough guys. Anybody remember the Gracies? Oh, I know the Gracies. I've fought some of those guys. I've been twisted into pretzel shapes by little guys before, so I know what it's like. But when I like my wrestling, I like big, tough dudes. I like guys that really seem tough, and nothing against Hook. I'm sure he's going to grow up. He's going to get a little bit bigger and stuff like that. But I do think this one's going to fly off the shelf. This is one of those ones when it goes up on Ringside for pre-order, it's going to sell out day one. I just can see that coming. Cool to get Taz's son as well, and hopefully we get the FTW title belt with this Hook as well. So we'll see what happens there. And then returning to the line once again, Thunder Rosa in Unmatched Series 7. Love the idea of more Thunder Rosa figures. You know I'm a sucker for face paint. You've heard it a couple times in this one. And once again, we get an extra head here. Looks really good. It's like her Striper gear. She was getting ready to go to the Striper concert and wrestled a match before and then went straight to the concert in this gear. I think that's what exactly happened. Somebody can check that one if they want to fact check it. Also, Series 7, Pac comes back to the line. A lot of people didn't like that Pac we got way back in the day. It was okay. That second head with the hair in his face, that's what I used because that looked a little bit better. These look pretty good. He's got the mad face, then he's got his pirate look, and then it looks like he's got his straight-up blindfold look here. So you can really mix it up here. I'm okay with this figure. This seems all right, and it seems about time for him to return to the lineup. Will we get that new title belt with him? That'll be an interesting one to find out about as well. Then Unmatched Series 7 continues with Penta El Zero M. I don't understand all these different names. I mean, obviously the names correlate to what he's wearing a little bit, but I've never been explained to. Somebody explain that in the comments. We can figure that out together maybe. But Penta, and it looks like red and black gear, looks really good. I always love a good red and black gear, so that won't be too bad. And then, of course, you can't have Penta, except the other series, but you can't really have Penta without Ray Fenix, Unmatched Series 7 as well. Very cool white gear. This isn't the gear he wore when he got hurt that one time, is it? I don't know why I was thinking that. But once again, mask, tattoo, man, I'm all in. Give me Phoenix, and he's got Penta in the same series. And this is an interesting one here. So Unmatched Series 7, of course, Series 6 has the Luminary, and now this one is going to have the LJN style figure, and we are getting a modern take on CM Punk as an LJN figure. Now, when I first scrolled through this and saw this, this looked like a retro figure of CM Punk. That's what I thought. It was like an old school Hasbro version, but no, it is the LJN style. I'm not sure exactly what to think about this LJN style CM Punk. It does look a little rough. His hands are down. There is zero playability to this figure. It is really akin to a statue. But we'll see. I got to think, as I said earlier, they're going to run CM Punk as hard as they can, and they're putting him in this as a retro-style figure of the LJN variety. So I thought that was interesting. And then we saw a few other things. Back to the grayscale here. CM Punk Unrivaled Supreme Series 4. Talk about a mouthful. But you know CM Punk, like I keep saying, they're going to keep marching him out there, and we're getting Unrivaled Supreme Series 4. 3 extra heads, 4 heads total, of course a microphone, extra hands. He's got the I love you brother hands like a young Jimmy Snuka. Once again, you do get shorts, you get tights, you'll have 2 bodies so you can mix and match if you need to. This could be a good one if you want to buy extras of that Walmart exclusive one, Unrivaled CM Punk, that's hitting stores right now. I think that thing's going to be everywhere. That's going to be akin to somewhat of a peg warmer. I think if you can get an extra one of those, that could be your double up for this CM Punk, so we'll see on that. He does come with a shirt. He does come with a jacket. Once again, I'm always worried, always concerned about staining, especially on these higher price point figures. Really all figures, but especially these. Hopefully they got that figured out. I'm hoping somebody was at the press conference or the All Out celebration, and they talked to the Jazwares people and said, what's up with this staining? What's going on? They're going to need me to go there and do it, and I'll do it. If I ever get a chance to go there, I'm going to ask them, say, hey, what's up with this staining? Kyle wants to know, and some friends of his do too. So we'll see. But then Unrivaled Supreme Series 4 continues, so you got CM Punk, and once again, you got Thunder Rosa. We're seeing a theme here, and I know it makes a lot of people mad. They say, we want more diversity. We want more different people in the lineups. Not the same old people, same old people. And I get that, but we talked about guys like Private Party. Some of these other deeper cuts, they're not going to sell as well. Thunder Rosa, face paint, female, all kinds of accessories, it's going to sell very well. But the CM Punks, you're going to see those guys on a regular clip because at the end of the day, as much as we like it or don't like it, it is the toy business. You got to put your business hat on. They're not here to make figures that aren't going to move off the pegs. They're going to throw us some bones every once in a while, but they got to come hard with these same names over and over. But Thunder Rosa will be interesting here. She's got the big sombrero hat on, and she's got, once again, a couple bodies you can mix and match. You'll have the AEW Women's title. You got extra hands, all kinds of different heads, all different kinds of flags. There's a lot going on with this figure. So Thunder Rosa is coming in hard there. So now we turn our attention here to the set lineups. I guess we'll look at the sets as a whole. We already talked about most of these figures, but we'll look at a whole here. Unmatched Collection Series 8, Adam Hangman Page, CM Punk, Ring of Honor, Throwback Indie CM Punk, Buddy Matthews, Brody King, Abaddon, Malachi Black, and Penta. A pretty strong Unmatched Series 8 lineup. One thing I do notice here is we got 7 people in the case here, or 7 people in the set. What does that mean by adding one extra player in there? Obviously, there's not going to be as many doubles, but I haven't heard this announced, but my brain goes back. You got to remember your history, or you're doomed to repeat it, as we always say. It goes back to the old Jax days, and Jax Classic Superstars specifically. They went to larger sets, and what they ended up doing was some of those guys, nothing against the Ernie Ladds of the world, the Ivan Putskys of the world, the Howard Finkels of the world, nothing against those guys. I got all of them. I got doubles of them for even. But what they did is they put a lot of those guys in every other set, or every other case, I should say. So every other case would have Howard Finkel. Every other case would have Ernie Ladd, for example, or whoever it was in those sets. Are they going that route here with some of them? Will we see Abaddon in every other set or every other case? I don't know. That could be something they're doing too. Or they're just going, hey, more bang for our buck. We're going to get more money out of people, and that's one way to do it. I'm not exactly sure, but it's an interesting business strategy, adding one, and especially adding one at a time. The dollar doesn't go as far as we'd like it to. Inflation's hurting. We all see it. If you're in Facebook groups, if you're out there in the waters of collecting, a lot of people selling, a lot of people dumping some things to make money. It's just the way it goes right now. And it's an interesting business move where sometimes you either, I guess, go with more figures like they're doing here, or you cut back a little bit and say, hey, I don't want to get my consumer who's going to buy my product, I don't want to overwhelm them with product, and all of a sudden they're like, I can't keep up, I'm too poor, I don't have the money, and whatever's going on, I can't keep up with this, I'm just going to bail out. And that is a dangerous line there Jazwares is playing. Adding more product during tough times could cause some of their collector fan base to take that step back and say, I'm all out, I'm not in anymore. So it's a dangerous grow. It's a dangerous line you got to cross in any business, and we'll see how it pays off for Jazwares very soon. Now we turn over to Unrivaled Collection Series 13, and I still can't believe Series 13 is already here. Butcher, The Blade, The Bunny, Darby Allin, Wardlow, Danhausen, and Sting. Quite the set there. Will they do maybe The Blade and The Bunny every other case or every other set? I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see. But interesting one, Danhausen's going to be the one everybody wants out of this. We know that. Got to think Darby Allin's going to be at the top of the hill. Sting, of course. And what do they have in common? Face paint. Oh, face paint, of course. But a very good lineup. Once again, these lineups look really, really good on paper. But the final verdict, as I always say, is here at the table. How do they show up? How do they perform at the table? And we'll find out in the future for sure. Now we get a little something we haven't talked about yet. Unrivaled Collection Series 14. We're getting Ricky Starks, and they show him in this picture with the FTW title. I hope that does include there. Powerhouse Hobbs coming back to the line again. Orange Cassidy, another guy. A lot of figures coming to the line. Keith Lee, first time in the line. I'm all in on a Keith Lee figure. One of my favorites from the NXT days. I feel like he hasn't really been as bright of a star in AEW as he could be. Yes, he is tag team champion right now, but I'd like to see a little bit more out of Keith Lee. We'll see what happens when him and Swerve do finally break up. We'll see what happens there. Then we are getting Chris Statlander return to lineup. Probably my favorite female wrestler going today, so I'm excited for a new Chris Statlander. This should be non-alien gimmicks, so that'll be pretty nice. Swerve Strickland, of course, he did get a WWE Basic back in the day, a year ago maybe or something like that. Him and Keith Lee, tag team champions. Will they have tag titles with them, but they're going to be in the same set? That might have just worked out that way, I'm not sure. And then we're getting Trent Beretta. So interesting to see Trent Beretta back in. I guess he's got short hair now. I think he was given long hair in his last Unrivaled figure. So that is something different. So that's an interesting wave as well in Series 14. Then we go to Unmatched Collection Series 9. I mean, geez, they're just throwing product left and right at us, aren't they? Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, first time in the line. A lot of people are going to want those, as we know. You got the Young Bucks returning to the line. No stranger to any AEW line. Never will be a stranger to the line. Very much like Britt Baker and Kenny Omega in this set as well. So as I talked about the business here, you go back to all these guys that have been performing, that are the bigger names, because you want the bigger names out there because they're going to move the units, as we know. And then you get a guy like Brandon Cutler, which is cool for us hardcore collectors. It's somebody different. It's a guy to really build your universe around, one of those ancillary guys, we'd call him. He's not the tippy top stars, of course. But it looks good having a figure of him with your Kenny Omega, for example, or something, or your Young Bucks, of course, your elites. But we do see them going to the well with a lot of these guys, and we're going to see that continue. Unmatched Series 10, once again, this is like the Blackpool Combat Club edition here in Unmatched Series 10. First, we do have Toni Storm. Once again, another female from the Mattel days. We did get a basic from, never got an elite, so this will be a great figure for her. I'm a big fan of Toni Time, for many reasons, of course. So we're getting her. And then, of course, we did know, I think we talked about it in weekly purchases about a week ago, Alex Reynolds getting his first figure. We put him with our Dark Order team, completing that Dark Order set, getting closer to, I guess we should say. But then we get the Blackpool Combat Club. We get Wheeler Yuta, first time ever getting a figure, I'm pretty sure. Will he come with that Ring of Honor title? That would be really cool. Of course, Jon Moxley, no stranger to any AEW line, or Mattel line for that matter. Then we get Claudio Castagnoli. How about that? That'll be a big one. A guy that, of course, we got many elites and basics from over the years. So we're getting his first AEW figure. We're getting Bryan Danielson. Once again, a guy that's had many figures over the years. Another AEW figure from him. And then the one I'm most excited about out of this whole set here is probably William Regal. I'm a longtime fan of William Regal. I'm here for that one. I'm sure this will be the suited variety, but could he get a Luminaries down the line? We'll see if that happens. But Unmatched Collection Series 10 looks pretty good on paper. Now we turn our attention to Unrivaled Collection Series 15. The numbers keep going up. And once again, like some of those other guys talked about, Samoa Joe, first time in the line, first time AEW figure. That should be pretty cool. I always like Samoa Joe's figures. That'll be really good. We're getting Pac again. This is interesting. He's got his mask. Is he going to come masked? I hope he does, because face paint and mask, that'll help you move some units. That should help that figure. We're getting Jade Cargill. Once again, a return to the line. I'm kind of shocked it took this long, actually. So we're getting Jade there. Scorpio Sky, is he going to have that Lakers kind of TV title going with him? I'm okay with the Scorpio Sky. I'm a big fan of Scorpio Sky. I think he's one of the underused talents in AEW for sure. And then we are getting the acclaimed Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, first time on the line. Very cool to get a tag team in the same set. And this is a tag team that's been on the rise. Will they win the tag titles this weekend? It'd be very interesting. They're a day one AEW tag team, so cool to get them finally in the pink and black attack, of course. And then one I know a lot of people have been wanting, Ethan Page. A lot of people wanted an Ethan Page figure. Now's your chance here. He is coming to AEW Unrivaled Collection Series 15. So another solid set there with some first-timers coming in. Now we move our attention over to the Supreme line. All Supreme. Like a Supreme pizza, some might say. And it seems like Series 5 is going to be very interesting as we got the Bucks. The Bucks are going to have their own one. And it doesn't say here, I'm not sure, but it looks like they'll each have their own packaging. I think the smart move here would be to make them a 2-pack, a Supreme 2-pack. I don't know either way. I hope that is the case, because I don't know how well they're going to sell on their own. I think they'll sell okay, obviously. People will buy them, but it seems like it's a Supreme version of the Ultimates, of course, from Mattel. You feel like you need them in the same pack, and that should be a 2-pack, and we'll see what happens there. But the Bucks are coming in Series 5. But Unrivaled Supreme Series 4, we already talked about. That's the CM Punk Thunder Rosa. Man, that Thunder Rosa looks awfully devilish, awfully scary. I'm here for both of those. That should be a good set for sure. And then Unrivaled Supreme Series 3, I think the last pay-per-view event, they announced this one. But we're getting Ray Phoenix and Penta. Of course, much like the Bucks, should they be together? They're going to be separate. We'll see how that ends up shaking out. But I'm here for that. Once again, 2 masked guys. You know that's going to move some units, guys. So Unrivaled Supreme Series 3, looking good. Then we go back to a Ringside Collectible exclusive. And like I said, you can get all this stuff on Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. Pre-orders up now for a lot of this stuff. And man, we'll thank our wallets later. Oh, worry about it later. Worry about it later. But we're getting Excalibur Ringside Collectible exclusive. Of course, we do have good old JR. Just recently came out. Look for that review on the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel while you're here. But JR is coming, and then we know Tony Schiavone should be here in about a month or so. And then Excalibur is coming very soon as well. So really cool to get the announced team. That's one thing that's been lacking in wrestling figures for a long time is talent like that, announcer talent. I'm here for that all day long, so that should be good. And then we keep on going on Unrivaled Series 11. We got Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Cool to see them in the line. I don't know how well they're going to sell, but we'll see. But Penelope Ford, one of my favorite females in wrestling. I'm putting it out there right now. Jungle Boy, his return to the line. What are we doing? Where's Luchasaurus? You can't give me Jungle Boy without Luchasaurus. We need more Luchasauruses. Masked dinosaurs, big dudes, tattoos, hairy bipedal creatures. Man, we need Luchasaurus, but he's not invited to this party in Unrivaled at 11. Jericho, Darby Allin. Once again, we're not shocked about that. But this, I believe, will be the first Adam Cole figure, so that'll probably be the jewel, the highlight of Series 11 here. And then we turn our attention, we're almost done here, we're almost done with the reveals. We turn our attention to Amazon. We've seen a lot of 2-pack Amazon exclusives, and now we're getting Hookhausen. Very, very cool. We'll see. I assume Hook will be the same exact figure or a little slight repaint, some different tights, trunks on him. That's what it'll be. And then Danhausen, I'm not sure. Is it going to be that Danhausen we saw in his street gear, or are we actually going to get our first wrestling Danhausen right here? So that'll be one to pay attention to, but I got to think this pack will do very well. The old Hookhausen 2-pack. Speaking of a 2-pack that'll probably do pretty good, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, the Blackpool Combat Club 2-pack. A lot of people are going to want that one as well. 2 top stars, 2 Hall of Famers, honestly, in a 2-pack. And then you get a female 2-pack, which I think first time in the line, female 2-pack here. Jade Cargill, Britt Baker. Will they both have their title belts? Gotta assume both these will be simple repaints or quite possibly just re-releases. Hopefully the repaint variety. But these more 2-packs are coming from Amazon. They must be selling pretty well. Pro tip, though, as we've seen, they start off pretty high and they drop in price pretty fast. So if you play the long game, you might do pretty good for yourself. So we'll see what happens with those. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop the clock! It's Future Kyle. He's got a different shirt on, so you know it's really from the future or possibly from the past, but who knows? Who's keeping track these days? But it got a couple of things I did miss out on. Of course, they did show the 2-pack with Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Oh, baby, you know I like that. Not a lot of differences here for those guys from some of their other releases, but we are getting some wrist? How about ab tape for Jungle Boy? So that is a little point of difference. That's what sucks about being a completionist. Things like that you do have to pick up. So we do have that. We also saw, we know Walmart and Target getting different versions of exclusive figures. It looks like Walmart is getting an Unmatched exclusive, very similar to the Hangman Page, but this time of Wardlow. They're going to run Wardlow into the ground. We're going to get all kinds of Wardlow figures, but we're getting him as a Walmart exclusive. And then speaking of Walmart exclusives, the last little nugget of information here, the Supreme Kenny Omega we talked about, I guess that is going to be a Walmart exclusive. So that is going to be very interesting to see how that goes. You know, Target's got their Ultimate exclusives from Mattel. Walmart, I guess their answer is going to be Jazwares Supreme exclusive. So very interesting times in the old AEW collector's world. And then, of course, every pay-per-view event, there's always a Shop AEW exclusive. A lot of wondering, what is it going to be this time? And it was a secret all the way up till the day of the show. And it is Shop AEW exclusive Hikaru Shida. Now, Shida, as an exclusive like this, a 1 of 3,000, I could see a few people saying, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's not quite the Moxley. It's not quite the Kenny Omega, the Jericho that had people all fired up about. It is a very simple repaint of the Shida figure, and let's be honest, she does not set the world on fire with her action figures. She does come with extra hands. She does come with a shirt. She does come with a kendo stick. So it's got a little bit different. Of course, the packaging looks really cool. And then you got the 1 of 3,000 sticker. But when this does go up on Shop AEW, I gotta believe this isn't going to sell out real fast. We saw the last one with Moxley. Didn't set the world on fire. It took a couple hours to sell out. I gotta think this might take a day to sell out, especially if it's at like an $80 price point with the protector. I don't know how well this is going to go, but I do commend Jazwares for taking a step, taking a chance doing something like this. I'm honestly kind of shocked they didn't do Jade Cargill or Britt Baker as the first female, or Rio. What are we talking about? They should have done Rio. We all know that. Never change, never leave. Dance across sand. Dance across our hearts forever, Rio. But Sheeta gets her time in the sun, I guess we'll call it. So Sheeta's coming in hot there. So that's quite the mouthful. We're at like a 40-minute video here of reveals. This pretty much sets them up through the rest of the year and probably into about summertime of next year. I think some of those ones that were way at the end, it'll be a while before we see those in person. But very cool to get the peek under the tent. I think a lot of people were looking for this information for San Diego Comic-Con time frame, but that's just not how Jazwares does things. They moved it back for these kind of things, and that is kind of cool too, because you could be lost in the shuffle at San Diego Con. We see that a lot with a lot of different toy lines. This kind of gives them their own time to shine for the holiday, tied in with the pay-per-view. I'm all for it. I'm all for more wrestling figures, but what about you guys out there in YouTube land? All in, all out, looking hard, looking fast, looking free like a young Rio or Orlando Calrissian? You guys let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got all kinds of videos on the channel. You should know that by now, but we're unboxing about everything. Don't forget about the Patreon, where you get early access to videos like this and a lot of bonus content, exclusive content, monthly giveaways as well, and best of all, you do support the channel, and you can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget to follow me and hit me up over there on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter and Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So, for AEW All Out 2022 reveals, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.